Hello, freedom seekers. Jeremy Chambers, Independence Acres Homestead. We're here to wish you a happy Independence Day. So Luke, Josh, and I are heading out to the pond. We're just gonna go take a look, see how the fish are doing out there. You know, it's a little bit of a leisure day today. Not a lot of work going on here around the homestead, so not quite as busy as normal. We tried to get as much of it done earlier this week so we could just kind of relax for a day or two here. So we're heading out to the pond. We bought some new fish feed for our bass and our bluegill that are in the pond. So we've already been feeding them a couple days, and I tell you what, these fish got trained so fast. Within, let's see, after 2 days of feeding them, they know that when they see our shadows, they come running. Let's see if we can get this on camera.
Look, they're already here. We got a stream of fish.
Woo! They are hungry today. All right, Josh, throw out a couple handfuls. Whoa!
Swarm.
I think they're hungry, guys. Oh man. At first they were very timid of this feed getting thrown in there, but now as soon as it hits the ground,
water.
It's like piranha feeding time.
It's water, Dad.
Sorry, as soon as it hits the water. You know what I meant. That's crazy, guys, isn't it?
Let's throw out some for the bass.
I don't think the bass are gonna get any.
Nope. Bluegill, I love it. Look at all the little ones.
Goodness.
Here.
So I've been working really hard over the last week or so to try to cut down some of the phragmites that have been growing along the edge of the pond. And that's for two reasons. Number one, so that we can enjoy it just a little bit more. It's really hard to fish, kayak, and all that stuff when we're dealing with, you know, just a wall of phragmites when we come out here. And the other reason is because I'm dealing with some pesky muskrats. There are holes all over the side of our dam, and I'm trying to give no quarter to the enemy here. We have declared war on the muskrats, and so by removing as much of the phragmites as possible, I'm removing their cover where they can hide and eat and basically just cause chaos. I know I've mentioned a little bit about the pond before. So we introduced a total of 10 wild bluegill into the pond here that we bought at a local fish hatchery. And I am just absolutely amazed at the number of bluegill that we have now 4 years later. There's got to be 300 to 400 bluegill in this pond now. And so, along with various frogs, a couple red ear sliders that were released in our pond, and the smallmouth bass. I'm just absolutely amazed at the number of fish that are out here. So these are some little fingerling bluegill. So the other reason we're out here walking around the pond today is because it is black raspberry season, well, wild black raspberry season here in Michigan. And most of these bushes along the county drain line here that comes next to our pond are black raspberry bushes. And they're just now starting to turn ripe. So we're gonna keep an eye on these, but they are nice and luscious from the amount of rain that we've had over the last week or so. So, you know, nice and rainy, and then, you know, we've had some nice warm sun, and so the black raspberries, oh man, oh, yep. Make sure there's no bugs on it before you eat it.
Yeah.
So we always struggle with getting enough of them to do anything with them before the birds or the wildlife get them. So we just come out here and snack on them a little bit.
Watch out for the pickies.
As the black raspberry season goes on. Man, those are good. All right, here we go. So they're just slightly underripe at this point, because if we wait till they get fully ripe, we don't get any. But man, they're good even just slightly underripe. So one of the other foraging things we have is further back in the back of the property is where we have the actual blackberry bushes, and those won't be ready until a little later on this month into the beginning of August. So yeah, these are the black wild blackberries, and you can see they are still just completely green. There is no ripening going on there, so we still have about a month on those before those start to ripen.
Trick is you want to look behind them. That's
Yeah.
usually where all the ripe ones are. Just watch out for the thorns. That one's bad, that one's bad. That one has nan on it. Wow. Ow. I got thorned.
You got picked?
Down back there. Oh.
So we'll keep a real close eye on these black raspberry bushes over the coming days, and maybe we'll get enough to actually make like a raspberry pie or something, but no guarantees. One of the other wild edibles that I'm really excited to find around our pond is this tree here. And while it's kind of a pretty tree and it is a wild edible, with the fruit that it bears, it's kind of a nuisance also. This is an invasive tree. It's called the autumn olive, autumn berry, you know, all kinds of different names for it. But these little things right here will eventually become berries in the autumn, of course. That's why they get their name. And good for making jellies and jams. Kind of tart, but should be pretty good. Guys, big bass. Oh, look at him. Right down there.
Oh, that's huge.
That might be Grandpa. That guy's a good foot long.
That one?
Yeah, foot to 13 inches.
Are you the grandpa on this side yet?
I don't think so.
Wow. How long can they live?
The dragonflies have also been really pretty this year. And let me see if I can get in on some of these that are on the weeds over here. Well, everything's looking good at the pond. I'm gonna head back to the house, stopping in at the chicken area, discuss with you guys some of our plans that we have going on over here. So over here's our chicken run. Here, Josh, why don't you take the box of feed back? Go put it back on top of the trailer for me, okay? So over here's the chicken coop and the chicken run. And the run has gotten overgrown. So we kind of have a two-tier fence here. We've got cattle panels for the structure of the fence. And then we just have some 2x4-inch wire fencing on the inside to keep chickens from pushing through. But let's be honest, these chickens are flying over the fence, and we really want to try to rehab this a little bit. And that thing over there is kind of an eyesore, but I really have a hard time getting rid of it. That's our very first chicken tractor that we built 11 years ago. And while it's just kind of a pile right now, it is it's kind of has some sentimental value. I think I got a picture floating around somewhere of when Caleb and I built that and painted it. And so yeah, it's gonna be hard to get rid of, but it's time to cut that thing up, get rid of it. And so the plan is to take down all the fencing that we have, these cattle panels and the T-posts, and we're gonna get some electric poultry netting to put up so that we can begin to rotate our chickens a little better in the grazing area. So we can put a strip of fencing coming straight out, going back all the way against the fence, and we'll be able to rehab some of the soil in the current chicken run, cut it down, grade it down, and then reseed it, maybe with some cover crop, or even reseeding it with some like wheat or rye or something that we can possibly get a head off of, and then be able to refeed back to the chickens and the rabbits. And you know what? I need some input from you guys. What do you think we should do with these cattle panels once we take them down? Should we revamp our arch trellises in the garden? Should I build another small greenhouse with the cattle panels, cattle panel hoop house? Should we try to find some other purpose for them? My vote was for getting some sheep or some goats or something, but Shelly said no. So I need some ideas from you guys. What do you think we should do with those cattle panels once we get everything torn down and get it replaced with the electric poultry fence? So right now we're in the market to pick up some electric poultry fence. I've really got my eyes on the 48-inch poultry netting from Premier One, and if that's what we end up going with, I'll let you guys know for sure. But another great thing about that poultry fence is, since it's movable, it's going to force me to keep the area just a little cleaner, to keep things from growing along the fence line, because obviously electric fence doesn't work so well if there are grasses and weeds growing along the fence line itself. So it'll be a purpose for keeping the chickens contained, but it's also going to motivate me to do a little better job about keeping the area cut down and manicured a little better, because as you guys know, I hate mowing the lawn. Well, that about wraps it up for today. Time to head inside, start working on dinner, and then we're going to be coming out here and doing just a little bit more fireworks before we call it done for the night. Got to wait till it gets dark, so we still got a few more hours of sunlight before we can do that. We really do appreciate you guys joining us today on another great Sunday afternoon here in Southeast Michigan. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to comment below and let me know what you think we should be doing with those cattle panels once we tear that fence down. And until next time, God bless.